Welcome everyone to the full moon workshop. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about what the full moon represents, what sign the full moon is in. We're going to hit you with a little card reading and a meditation. And are you ready? Are you excited?
I'm ready and I'm super excited. I'm very grounded though. Yeah.
Interesting.
You feel
Earth
it?
energy.
Oh yeah? That being said, the full moon is in
Virgo.
Virgo.
Anybody holla to our Virgos.
Papa?
Papa Camp.
Papa say, yeah. Papa, I was going to say Papa C, but Papa can't.
Yeah.
I like that better. my niece as well. I don't know why we have to mention our family, but
Annie just farted.
Oh,
We have
she
a
did.
dog with us in the house studio.
Ooh, and her butt is facing us. You can see. Oh yeah, you can see her right here. She's just letting it go.
Yeah,
you know,
just flowing with it.
Let's do it. So, when it comes to full moon, this is a time to really fully express yourself. Letting go is a good term as well.
Yeah.
But we're releasing a lot of different things, and it's a time to express.
Yeah, and there's a lot of energy associated with the full moon. So if you're doing a yoga practice or with the full moon is a great time to do a hard workout because you want to be getting that energy out, whereas the new moon is more about, okay, let's retreat, let's reflect. The full moon, there's a lot of energy there, and that's why a lot of people have trouble sleeping with the full moon because there's a lot of energy. So if you have time, I encourage you to do a vinyasa practice or just a more vigorous kind of workout, or even just go for a long walk. Really I encourage you to move your body physically.
I love that. And this is where, if we have any parents in the room or caregivers or anything like that, kids are super hyper and a lot of stuff happens on a full moon. That's where the expression comes from, right? Because there's so much energy that if we have no outlet to express it and to release it, then that's when the chaos happens.
Yes.
So it's really important to release this energy in your own unique way.
Yeah.
So Virgo is an earth sign, which is very grounding.
Yeah.
Right?
So think about this in terms of what sign you might be and how that might relate. Are you an earth sign and then the moon is in an earth sign, and so you might be feeling really heavy? Or are you an air sign and then this moon is in an earth sign, so you might feel a little more balanced?
Yeah, it's a beautiful way to kind of just check in with yourself, and it helps you really get this higher perspective, this higher understanding that you're not crazy, that we are built from the cosmos. If we talk about the energetics of our body and the moon, and everything has energy, so it's all very interconnected, and we don't have to go so deep and know everything about it. Even just scratching the surface is enough to do this inner work in your own beautiful way.
Totally. I love that.
So Virgo, we've kind of wanted to give you a little summary of, if you don't know what Virgo is, it's very hardworking, disciplined, and responsible in their everyday life.
Yeah, and very kind of practical, grounded. So thinking about not only how that might relate to your sign, but just the season and the time of year, and kind of thinking about this in a bigger picture format. How might that kind of relate to what's going on in your day-to-day, whether that be things that you're trying to let go of or things that you're trying to manifest? When we think about the full moon, we're really working to kind of manifest. Things are kind of coming to a close before we start to kind of enter new energy. And so what are things in your life that you really want to put a lot of energy towards kind of manifesting? And then also it's a good time to kind of look back and kind of see what the last time the full moon was in Virgo, what were the things that you were trying to manifest. So if you do have a journal, feel free to grab it, or even it would be a great time to start a moon journal to kind of start to document the cycles. And just, again, it's all about awareness, right? So understanding the cycles from 6 months ago when the moon was in Virgo to now when the moon is in Virgo, and seeing what are those things that you were manifesting. Are they kind of coming to fruition? Are they evolving? Kind of taking a reflection in that sense.
I love that. And I think Virgo, being the responsible, hardworking, can get caught up in this idea of always going, and being so grounded and kind of having like, I'm getting a vision of the blinders on, where you just keep going, you forget to stop and you forget to look back to see how far you've come, and giving yourself that gentleness and that compassion, and almost like being your own cheerleader to be like, wow, I am a powerful manifester. I am on the track to what it is I want to manifest in my life. And if we're always in that hardworking state or being responsible, but not taking the time to do that self-assessment piece that Brianna was talking about, we could get lost in that work kind of combined space where we are so focused that we forget the higher picture, and that brings into like a balanced state with, and that's what you're talking about with the mind and body, right? The mind and stomach, where we need to manifest, but when we're manifesting, it helps when everything's in alignment and in balance. And this is what this gives us an opportunity to do, which is ironic because in this sign, it's all about the stomach area as well, right, in Virgo?
Yeah, associated with the pancreas,
Yeah.
the intestinal system, the digestive system. And really another thing that I wanted to mention when we talk about Virgo, and I think with this time of year, is a trait that's associated with this sign is consistency and patience. And I think that's so beautiful when it comes to manifesting, and when you have all this energy, you just want to kind of go and you want to get it out, and really taking time to kind of slow and not necessarily when it was the full moon, our last workshop, we talked about setting, or sorry, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new moon, we talked about setting those systems and that foundation. And now as we come into Virgo in the full moon, it's really about that consistency. So, you know, it's easy to get discouraged. It's easy to kind of be impatient, and especially when you're setting in new structures that might not be habitual yet and might not be those habits you don't even have to think about, you can kind of like get into a mindset of, oh my, this is never gonna happen, or, you know, I've been doing this for a whole week, like why is it
I need change.
Yes.
Yeah, it's that impatient piece,
it's that
right?
impatient piece.
And that's where we can funnel the Virgo energy, because as much as you're hardworking and responsible, actually they're very like patient in the way that they move in their life. They're very consistent because they understand that things take time.
Yes.
So depending on your current sign, maybe it's patience that you need to lean more into, or maybe it's more responsibility or hardworking. So self-reflect on that. How are you doing right now, and the past few weeks that you've been implementing this new habit that you want to create? And to become this new identity, like we talked about the new moon and Brianna mentioned, we're going to have to let go of stuff, which is what we did in the new moon. So reflect on the past few weeks and what you were able to let go of. And now it's time to really put in those systems and these new habits and these new patterns. But really be mindful of the people that you're surrounding yourself with and what makes you discouraged, what triggers you. This self-awareness piece will really help you kind of stay in your lane. Remember the blinders? That serves a purpose. When you're so focused like a Virgo and you keep going, you're not distracted by what the neighbor's doing or what they're saying about you, or, you know, the judgment piece. You're just focusing in your own lane and doing your own thing, building these new habits that are going to serve you in this lifetime.
And especially since the body parts associated with Virgo are the intestinal and digestive and pancreas, and kind of like everything kind of going on around in this area, I encourage you to reflect on how you're feeling in terms of consistency related to the body. Are you feeling a lot of digestive upset or bloating, or are you having a lot of gas? Do you have butterflies? Do you have a lot of anxiety? Is there something that is situated right here? Just bring a lot of awareness to this area in terms of the physical body. And are there things that you can be staying consistent with that relates to, maybe it is digestive upset, or maybe it is that sense of like, maybe you do feel your anxiety in your stomach area. Are there things that you can stay consistent to, that you know that you've kind of set those structures and that foundation? Maybe you kind of fell off track.
Yep.
This is the time the universe is reminding us to kind of get back on it, and kind of falling off the wagon is a very natural, normal thing that I think only encourages us even more, because it means that we're aware enough to stay consistent.
Yeah.
So I think life ebbs and flows. You're gonna get on and off that bandwagon, and you know, in terms of whatever it is you're trying to manifest. So use this as a reminder to very gently allow yourself to get back on top of those habits that you set in the new moon, and stay consistent in the full moon.
And I think that's beautiful. And it's like remembering this last piece, that the life lessons, or when you went off track, is always an opportunity. There was something there that your soul needed in order. It's like, think of like a puzzle piece. It's like you're missing a few of the puzzle pieces. So your soul derived from that, so it can learn, it can become more aware in whatever that you needed, so that puzzle piece can kind of fill.
I love that.
And that's how you kind of stay consistent in your new habits, because we don't stay consistent because there's these pieces that we have to learn. And we were just talking about that this morning with those life lessons, like how can I I hate getting off track and I'm tired of these life lessons. But there's a sense of surrender, knowing that it's happening for a higher purpose, and to not get attached to it, to remember using that Virgo energy to be like, okay, I know I was there, I went off track, but let's realign, recalibrate, refocus into this new behavior that's going to take time for us to learn, because we're breaking free from a lot of crap.
And it means that we're not on autopilot when we fall off the wagon. So it's something to celebrate, that, again, no matter what your goal might be, falling off of those habits that we know are going to bring us closer to that goal is like a really good reminder. It means that you are connected to yourself, because your body and your soul are like flagging it, like, hey, we're a little bit off track. It means that you are where you need to go. You are in the right space.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. Aw, beautiful. I just love speaking from the heart and channeling enjoyment. So we're ready to do an angel card pull?
Yeah.
Brianna's going to do one today.
I like this deck.
Purple's speaking to you.
Keepers of the Light. Alrighty. Oh.
Well, there we go. She's just getting right to business, like Virgo. Let's just go.
Yeah.
No messing around.
Amethyst, Divine Alchemy. Oh, that's just a lot.
It's a lot of light.
Shoves it right.
See? Did you see this? That's what Dwight does. My 6-year-old. It's like right in front of me. I can see. Oh my goodness.
I can picture that perfectly. Oh, it's an H.
Yeah.
How do you find these so fast?
I use them a lot.
Oh.
A, B, C, E, F, G.
Oh.
We're having way too much fun.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
Holy Amethyst is the twin flame of Archangel Zadkiel, the angel who helps us transmute negative experiences into love and learning. He's the keeper of the violet flame, which helps us release anything that is no longer serving us. Holy Amethyst also enables us to look over our past fears and challenges and draw wisdom and learning from them. For many years, unlike Zadkiel, she was not mentioned in spiritual texts, and I believe this was because her miraculous support wasn't needed on Earth as it is now. To connect deeply to her light, hold her namesake crystal, the amethyst. You're ready to move beyond energies and situations that are no longer helpful to you, and make space in your life for something more purposeful. You may feel a need for clearing out, not just mentally or emotionally, but physically too. There's a sense that you are moving beyond challenges and forging golden opportunities from stagnant or unhappy experiences. Ooh. It's important to recognize that you are like a magician at this time, with the ability to use your thoughts, will, and actions to bring about life-fulfilling and dream-enhancing opportunities.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Manifesting. I love that.
Yeah, and I love that it talked about not only releasing what's no longer serving us, but like lovingly releasing that.
And you mentioned that in the new moon workshop.
Yeah.
In the meditations, like lovingly releasing it instead of like being like, oh, so stagnant and hating it, right? Because that energy,
Yeah, and using that, just like we were talking about, like saying thank you for those red flags of like we're off track, and embracing it as a form of like, thank you for letting me know. You know what? I'm gonna reestablish those habits that I wanted to establish.
Beautiful.
Cool.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right. Ready?
If you have any sage, feel free to light. Reminder to grab your sage from ethical sources and use it responsibly. This is something sacred for sacred practice. You don't need to use a whole ton of it if you are using it, and just kind of ask yourself, for what purpose are you using it? And just kind of really make space, giving gratitude for those who have kind of shown us this path to use it for ritual. So if you have any essential oils as well, feel free to use those. And if you have a candle, if you have an altar, feel free to grab that, use that, get a little bit of earth energy. If you got any crystals, line them up.
And the grounding is good too. If you have like a blanket or a pillow, anything weight-wise to help kind of weight yourself and ground yourself. Take off your socks and put your feet directly on the ground. We'll be getting into a guided meditation, visualization process. So there's nothing that you need to do but just breathe and listen to my voice. Ready? Okay. So we're going to close our eyes, and I'm going to ask everyone to put their palms facing down for extra grounding in this Virgo new moon. So we're going to take 3 breaths. We're going to breathe in through the nose, and I want to exhale from the mouth with a big sigh, because I really want to release anything heavy, anything negative, anything that's no longer serving us, and allowing ourselves to breathe a bit lighter. So breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose. Last one. And we're going to bring that purple light from the amethyst card, and we're going to visualize that purple light in our crown chakra, which is the top of our head. And we're also going to ask the angels, our guides, our spiritual community to be with us in this moment, allowing our soul to surrender, release, and accept. So as you visualize this purple light beaming from the top of your head, your spiritual community is also putting their hands on top of your beautiful head. What do you feel? Do you feel heat? Do you feel touch? Cold? Maybe it's nothing at all. Embrace whatever it is that you're feeling in this divine moment. And this purple light is melting all the way down your head, from the forehead down to your nose, touching your lips, now moving in the back of your head and top of your ears, embracing you, allowing your cells to penetrate this vibrant light. And this light is now moving down to your throat chakra. Taking a breath if you need to. Loosening up your jawline, unclenching your teeth. And the purple light is now moving down to your shoulders and your back, swirling around to your front chakra, which is your heart, opening it up a little more. And it's melting down now from the front and the back of your body and your sides. And as it moves down to your stomach and your lower back, you're feeling heavier and heavier and grounded in this energy. This purple light is now entering your hips, into your root chakra, melting down your legs as it feels heavier and heavier and heavier. Moving now to your knees and the bottom of your legs, And if your feet are not already touching the ground, I invite you to move your feet in a position where it's touching the ground. And all of that heaviness that you're feeling from every cell, any emotion, any physical hurt in your body or pain, with the help of this purple light, is now going to be extracted from your feet and into Mother Earth, where it could be recycled back into love. So I'm going to ask the angels to help us, being at our feet, extracting all that no longer serves us, allowing it being suction cupped from our feet and poured into Mother Nature. Taking another breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Keeping your feet on the ground, I want you to visualize yourself being a 100-year-old oak tree, somewhere majestic, divine, almost like in a storybook, where you can feel the magic, like a childlike awe and amazement of Mother Nature. And this tree is teaching us the importance of grounding, of responsibility, commitment, focus. It doesn't rush. It takes the time that it needs to grow, resourcing everything it needs from Mother Nature, the rain, the sunlight, the earth, fueling all of the cells and growing in a gestation period, not forcing but allowing. We're going to take another breath in through the nose and out through the nose again. I want you to feel the power of this tree, the wisdom, a higher connection. And now we're going to bring our hands to our belly. If you need to put your feet down, that's okay. I want you to ask yourself, what do you feel? Do you feel butterflies? Do you feel anxiety? Do you feel excitement, bloating, calmness? That was Arya with her tail wagging. And in this moment, whatever it is that you feel and no longer want to hold on to, we are going to pull it out of our stomach energetically. You can visualize almost like a black poison coming out, doing its final release. And as this is happening, you're feeling lighter, brighter, more aligned. And now I'm going to ask you to remove your hands from your belly and shake them. We're just going to remove this excess energy, the darkness, the heaviness, the pain, the anxiety, the sadness, and shake it out of our body. We'll take one last breath. And you can now put your hands back on your legs. We're just going to take 10 seconds to sink into this moment. And before we end the session, we're just going to ask Mother Nature to give us that white light from the bottom of our feet, moving up through our entire body and out of our heads to recalibrate our energies. We're going to thank the angels, our guides, our community for helping us. We're going to ask them to close this session. And when the time is right for you, you can slowly open up those beautiful eyes of yours.
That was great.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I feel like Cheech and Chong every
That-
time. I'm like in a different dimension.
Cheech and Chong. With the
But-
Jagunga.
And the Jaganga. If you haven't seen our video on the bee movement, I use totally new language.
Oh my god. I just love that so much.
So if you want to experience more of that, we do a lot of meditations and talk a little bit more about different grounding activities. We talk about the digestion, any anxiety that you feel, nutrition, like everything that we've mentioned in this video in that community.
Definitely. And the link will be in the description if you'd like to check that out or even figure out what the heck else is in there and what it's about.
Yeah, all that funness. And it's 50% off right now. Okay, Aria, she keeps kicking me in the back. You can see her. We love her. She's a spunky little dog.
Yeah, she's like, this is my space now.
So thank you for tuning in and tune into our next New Moon workshop coming up next month.
And I encourage you to, if you have the means to, as if you're watching this right on the full moon, to go outside and just kind of meditate with the full moon, the light of the full moon on you.
That. Yeah.
And thanks for watching.
Thank you.